Well, here's the rub. The federal court also found that both businesses did not have the necessary systems in place to meet their compliance obligations. You can hear big business saying, oh, bugger all this compliance stuff, it's all too dear. So what else is happening in the corporate world that we don't know about? Because now we learn that Medibank has been the victim of an even worse cyber attack than Optus. 3.9 million of its current customers have been exposed to a data hack. And we're told an undisclosed number of former customers have been affected because, as required by law in the ACT, New South Wales and Victoria, Medibank had to retain data and health records for at least 7 years. Medibank only found out because stolen Medibank credentials were being purchased online. That means criminal access to all personal data and, quote, a significant amount, unquote, of intimate health information. Now, insurance companies being what they are, you're meant to be able to insure against risk. That's the purpose of insurance. But the same insurance companies increasingly want to take the bloated premiums and shy away from the risk. So the trouble with these episodes is that the number and severity of cyber attacks has significantly impacted insurance premiums, so that small businesses are now struggling to insure against the hacking of data. I note the comments of Fergus Hansen, the director of the Australian Strategic Policy Institute's International Cyber Policy Centre, who said he wasn't surprised that Medibank didn't have any insurance cover, citing, quote, the cost of such insurance. Fergus Hansen says he wasn't surprised, quote, because there are so many different ways it can happen and different loopholes in contracts. It can be hit and miss, whether you get coverage when an event happens, unquote. Of course, we've seen this with floods, haven't we? Or does this happen for a flood? Or did it happen because you're in the wrong place? I mean, they've got every reason not to pay up. Medibank estimates its costs may be $35 million, but that doesn't include the reimbursements it has promised to pay for the reissuing of identity documents, which prompts laymen like you and me to argue, how does this happen? And how much data are these people entitled to? We're now being told that companies need to reconsider how much information they retain. But surely customers are entitled to believe that all reasonable steps are being taken to protect the information that corporations demand from us. Isn't the customer entitled to know that companies who demand our personal information have in place sufficient defences against cyber attacks? What guarantees are available to us? And what compensation is available when they fail? We shouldn't be surprised if there are more of these attacks if the hacker knows the defences are weak. On Tuesday this week, the government introduced privacy laws that will increase the fines for companies involved in security breaches to a minimum of $50 million, minimum $50 million, or up to 30% of their turnover. But it's not being harsh to say that corporations, big outfits, are always ready to demand every piece of imaginable information before they give us a basic and fundamental service, but then balk at paying for the instruments that safeguard the security of this information. And surely that has to change, and in a hurry.